Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Louis Avito, and welcome back to LGO Outdoors. Today we're going to be talking about some patterns that I did last summer, but I'm releasing them today over the Migra's number 2 and number 3 shot. And the patterns that I did were at 20 yards, 25, 30, 35, and 40 yards. And I'm using them out of a Beretta A400 Extreme Plus right-handed 28-inch barrel with a Muller Passing Choke, my favorite choke by far. And this is a improved mod slash full, so right down the middle, light full. If y'all want to check out Muller Chokes, if you like these patterns that the gun's throwing and are interested, they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. And here's my code so you can save 10% on your next purchase. It's Louis. This is an I. So Louis 010. So here is the Waterfowl Chokes decoy passing, which what I prefer. This is what I used as an extra measuring device to make sure I did these yardages right. So after I pasted it out, I had purchased this rangefinder. It was like 99 bucks from Bass Pro, and it was accurate that I had measured everything properly before using this, and this confirmed that it was 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40 yards. Here are the Migras. 3-inch 2s and 3s, 1 1/4 ounce, 15 feet per second. This is what the box looks like. It's a really cool box. So this is one of the shells that I used towards the early part of big duck season here in Texas. So they only label it with their Migra stamp, and I guess another way for them to label their type of shells is the color. So I don't know about the 1s and 3s or the 2s and BBs, but on their 2s and 3s they only have them in the olive drab color like this, or the green. Their 2s and 4s are in white. And they don't label, the size of the shell or what's in it, but I'm sure you would know if you're purchasing, particular ammo. You should remember what's on the box to let you know what you're shooting. And this is a 12 gauge. Obviously it said it on the box, but they have it stamped on here just in case you're very particular about that. This metal, I know not all companies, coat the back of this part, to prevent corrosion, but this metal is a little bit easier than the standard metal for corrosion in like salt water. So I had an empty hole when I was in Port Mansfield, sitting in the water for the entirety of the hunt, and it was just floating there by my feet. And I've seen some other holes with basic material around here corrode, but this one corroded a little bit more than the average hole. So if you're hunting in salt water a lot and drop some shells, just keep that in mind. Make sure to wipe it off. So I cut open a perfectly good shell before this video so I can show you all the contents inside of it. So you have a basic wad, and I'll be releasing some videos about other shotgun shells that I have that I've used for waterfowl over the years, and I all like them and they all work. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is the Migras are the only ones that I currently have and have been shooting pretty regularly that do not have a filler on the top, to help with crimping. Their crimps are very, very good from the start. I don't know if you can see it right here. The crimps are very nice, but some people may like, a buffer or a filler. Some people don't, so I'm just throwing that in there. The steel shot is perfectly round. You got your 2s and 3s mixed in. They stack the 3s on the bottom and the 2s on top. Here's your powder. And I can't tell if this is just very polished steel shot or if it's plated, but I have a BB shot size from a heavy shot heavy steel, and they're not plated. I know that for sure, so maybe we can do a color comparison. Maybe that'll tell us. The BB's this big one right here. So please drop in the comments and tell me if you know if the Migras are plated or not, because plating on steel shot helps with helps lessen deformation as it's flying through the barrel, and helps with patterns and a little bit better penetration on ducks. So that's very important, So here we go. Got everything written down, and the shell that I originally cut open for these pattern videos had 168 pellets. And like I said, these were shot at different times. And I took a shell out of the same box as this one and opened it up, and it was 168. And this one that I had opened up just before the video was 168. So that is very, very accurate. So being a small batch company is working for them. I bought these from Rogers Sporting Goods last year, mostly because it had 3-shot. I'm a huge fan of 3-shot. 4s for teal. I can use 4s for big ducks, so I'm confident in that, but I really like 3s. So when I bought them from Rogers Sporting Goods last summer, it was $26.99 per box. But Rogers Sporting Goods does not show the 2s and 3s on the website right now. They show the double Bs and the number 2-shot, and they show the 2-shot and 4-shot, and they're about $1 or $2 more per box right now. And please let me know if there's other videos of the number 2 and 3-shot. I haven't seen any of them on the 2 and 3-shot. Probably the one with the least amount is the 1s and 3s, and then the BBs and number 2s. I've seen a little more of those, and I've seen a majority of the Migra videos on the number 2s and number 4s. So now getting into the patterns. At 20 yards, this is very, very dense. Keep in mind, this right here, the middle part, right where my finger is where I was aiming on the bird. So that I kept that consistent the whole time, or I just made that easy enough. Or this gun shoots 60-40, but I just kept the bead right here the whole time. So dense pattern. See a lot of spots where multiple pellets are hitting really close to each other on this bird. Absolutely destroyed this bird. So I'm sure everyone knows that when they've dealt with this image of the mallard, it's not accurate to a real life mallard. But I have a pintail that is bigger than the average pintail, and this poster board is actually a little more realistic to that duck. This is a 28-inch by 22 poster board, and this pintail is about 30-inch wingspan and about 23-24 from beak to tail. So that's going to be my visual when we compare this to the bird. So like I said, these are very clumped up together where it's holding a very dense pattern. So the reason why I'm pointing that out is because it was hard to determine exactly how many pellets were hitting the paper only on the 20 yards. That's the only one where I had difficulty. So from the ones that I could clearly see without questioning it, I had 157 pellets. Like I said, this is 100% confidence that, you know, I wasn't trying to guess on how many pellets were hitting these clumps. So 157 pellets gave me 93.5% of the pellets on the paper. Here is the pattern compared to the pintail. This is 25 yards. Very nice pattern. It opened up quite a bit from the 20 yards to the 25, but it kept pretty consistent like this for the rest of the patterns you're going to see. And it made it much easier to give me an accurate count on the pellets that were hitting the paper. So you got a few more spots that were clumped up, but after counting them, I had 163 pellets, which gave me 97%. Take it over to the pintail. Drop my shoe. Here's the Migras at 30 yards. This gave me 161 pellets on the paper. So 95.8%. So that was 30 yards. Here are the Migras at 35 yards. Pretty good distribution of pellets throughout the whole paper. Got a few areas in here, right here where I don't have any pellets. Right here a little bit. And right here is what I noticed, you know, it's about half this image, you know, it's about half this bird's body where I don't have much pellets in it, but everywhere else it did hit it, and he's deader than a doornail, especially just with this right here. That will definitely kill him. And we have 143 pellets on the paper, 85%. And here are the Migras at 40 yards. Now, like I said, I was pointing right here on the duck, but on this one I did not have another paper, or well, I had plenty of these little images, but I didn't have another poster board to redo this shot. I don't know why I had messed up. I was standing up. I didn't have, you know, a lead sled or anything like that. So it was just free-handed. I guess when I pulled the trigger, I went down and to the right. So you see, majority of the pattern is going to be over here. Even with most of my pattern being this way due to user error, out of all the other videos you're going to see here in the future with the different shot shells that I patterned, the Migras still performed the best. I had a 124, which gave me 73.8%. I'm not going to be too generous with this. Maybe if I'd have done my part properly at 40 yards, I'll say I'll bump it up a little bit and say it could have been around 76%, maybe a little bit more, because it was so strong. Up at the 35, it was 85%, and due to my user error, it dropped it down to 73.8% at 40 yards. But you know, we could have gotten quite a few more pellets on here if I'd have done my part correctly. But that's still going to kill a bird. That's going to definitely take it down. It's going to be wounded, but it's going to hit that joint, take it down, and we have plenty of pellets in here hitting the bird in the body, so he's going to be dead. And then, you know, you have your 3s that are filling in that pattern to make sure he doesn't get away. And then if that bird gets hit by a couple of number 2s, then, you know, that's just going to carry more knockdown power than the 3s. That's really going to anchor him. Great pattern, even due to my error. Here we go. Alright guys, let me know what you think. I want to say thank you so much to my buddy Joe Hensley. If it wasn't for his property, I wouldn't be able to make this video for y'all. Thank God he had some spare time in his day to allow me to drive out to Angleton and do a bunch of pattern tests. I did all these in one day, and what's funny is, you know, I'm putting the Migras first, and this was the last shot shell that I decided to pattern that day. So maybe that's also, maybe I was fatigued and that's why I messed up at 40 yards. But like I said, it still had the highest percentage of pellets on the paper compared to other shells that I'm going to show you. So let me know what you think about this video, if I should keep doing it at 5-yard increments like you just saw right here, or narrow it down to 20, 30, and 40 yards, or 20 and 40. Well, alright guys, y'all have a great day. Y'all be safe.